Well, son of a bitch. I worked so hard and got so far with the SU-101, but in the end, it doesn't even fucking matter.
But in the end, it doesn't even matter.
So the SU-12254 is currently being treated like the Lorraine 40T, like the off-clearance Panzer V. Wargaming is going to remove it and return it as a premium tier 8. It's too juicy of a target. It's the Hitomi J Cup of a premium tank to be sold. Who would not milk those? Oh my god. I could see the Photoshop coming. Oh. I worked so hard though. I mean, a lot of people worked equally or even more for the Object 263, and now they're getting a... Oh my god. So yeah, that's patch 9.22 in a nutshell, but I apologize. I apologize for goading you guys to keep training for the SU-12254. It's not becoming a legacy vehicle like the Foch 155 or the FE-215Bs. It's too juicy of a target to be milked. Hitomi J Cup of a tank. It's even Russian too. Oh, god damn it. So, yeah, super disappointment, but the good news is that patch 9.22 is coming pretty fast because we just had 9.21 a month ago, and with the holiday ops and other stuff, it's only been a month. So we're getting the common test server for 9.22 this Thursday. That seemed like a couple of days, but that means the actual patch is coming in February, and after a few more weeks, we're getting World of Tanks 1.0 with the HD maps update stuff. So, holy crap, that's a jam-packed spring semester or spring quarter for World of Tanks. That's pretty nice, but here is the summary for the patch notes. So the SU-12254 is basically the next Lorraine 40T, so like I said, in the end, it doesn't even fucking matter. I trained so hard. Oh well. The T10 is also being shifted, but seemingly you won't get a copy of it with the Object 257. So if you already have the T10 in your garage, you will get the Object 257, but if you want to get the T10 back, you have to rebuy it. So you're not getting two vehicles for a price of one. So, I mean, technically, that's the same with the Mammut. That's the same with the Moishin. So, fine, whatever. So they won't replace the SU-100M1, the Object 416, or the T10, so they'll still be there. And the new heavy tanks with the rear-mounted turrets will be researched from the IS, not from the KV-13, so yada yada, we already talked about those. But here's a quick summary of those vehicles. So the heavy tanks are basically rear-mounted heavy tanks with armor, and good alpha, above average horsepower per ton ratio, but crappy DPM, crappy accuracy, crappy view range, crappy aim time, and below average terrain resistance. Tank destroyers are not much different. So basically armor, horsepower per ton ratio, crappy DPM, crappy accuracy, crappy view range, and limited traverse of a superstructure because no turret. So it's basically tank destroyer version of the heavy tanks. Oh, god damn it. So the Object 430 mini branch is like a Chinese copy or Russian copy of the Chinese. So like the WZ-120 and the 113. Pretty much. Yep, that's it. So here are the costs of the stuff. So research if you wanna, blah 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 blah. Now, even though there were changes on the initial iteration of the ST server for the A44, for the Object 416, Object 430 version number 2, and the SU-12254, their stats were not altered in the actual patch notes for the Super Test server, so they did not get changed, presumably. But vehicles like the Object 430, Object 263, SU-100M1, and the SU-101 did get changed, so they were tweaked, so to speak. There were no mentioning of the T44 buffs, so sad to say, you have to play with T44, even though it's a little bit better than the T34-2, still. Would prefer a little bit more buffs, but hey, that's just me. There's a slightly better matchmaking, and ranked battle mode got reworked, prepped for a new season, so that's basically the summary of the patch notes. Now I'll go through the full wall of text coming right up, but here is a preview of all the vehicles coming in this patch. And here is the new Russian tech tree in patch 9.22. So the SU-12254 is completely gone, but it's very likely coming back as a premium tier 8. It's too juicy of a target to be milked. I would milk it, but you have to be a little bit more subtle about these things. You cannot just have it as a premium right away. People will catch wind. People will see that we had this vehicle. You turn it into a premium. Where's the copy for us who just had it? Rabble, 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 right? So basically, wait a few patches, let people forget, and then sell it for profit. The same with Lorraine 40T, the same with Awful Panther, Off Clearance Panzer V. So that's a tactic. God damn it, worked so hard. But the red vehicles are the ones that got spliced in. So the new tanks with the Object 263 at tier 9 now, with the 268 version number 4. You have the new jumbo mediums, the 430s after the T44, the new ISM with the 705s after the IS, and the Shift with the T10 with the Object 257. Now there are 2 mystery vehicles yet to be revealed, so these are currently in the works or in development, but they haven't been revealed yet. So there's a heavy tank after the T10 and a medium after the Object 430 version number 2. So people are speculating that the Object 777 version number 2 is after the T10, and maybe the K91 or KV4 model number K is after the Object 430 version number 2. So we'll see, but there's not that many rear mounted turrets of a medium other than the K91 and some sort of KV4, but yeah, this department is pretty restricted. Whereas for this, you could have the Object 268 version number 5 shifting into a heavy tank with improved stats from a tank destroyer, which is already in the vehicle data files for the main folder, but who knows? So these vehicles will be revealed when the actual patch becomes live, but for now they're completely hidden, so who knows. So here are the main stats for the Object 430. So this is Wargaming initial stats preview page. Take a quick look, but here are the main stats. So for the 430, shifting to tier 9, it receives a 122 rather than 100mm. So the punching power is a lot more alpha but less penetration, so that's a trade-off. But it's at tier 9 now, so that's not a bad penetration for a tier 9 vehicle. 240-ish is pretty good. DPM is also pretty good, but accuracy, aim time, below average, so that's a trade-off. Gun depression as well, so 5 degrees. Horsepower per ton ratio with terrain resistance is like a tier 10, so nothing to complain. Armor is, I think, about the same as the tier 10. Might be a little bit less for the hull armor, but that's still pretty good. That's like a tier 10's armor on a tier 9. Health is above average. Pretty decent. View range, 380. That's a little bit rough, but it has pretty decent camouflage value, so hey, it might be worth it. The Object 430 might be worth it now at tier 9. Oh no. The gold shell sucks. The gold shell has only 10 more millimeters of penetration, but it's also APCR, so doesn't get the normalization of the shell penetration angles stuff. Wow, this gold shell sucks ass. So that's the new 430 at tier 9. Interesting. They might buff it, they might change it. But here is the Object 430U. It's basically a jumbo medium. So it's like a Russian copy of a 113-esque of a tank. Alright, it's a medium though, it's not heavy. So here are the main stats. Modify 122, more DPM, but that's not bad. 2,700, not bad. That's like slightly below average, but it has a lot more alpha than the contemporary mediums, and it's 122, so it defeats sloped armor like the STRV 103s. So that's pretty good. Accuracy below average, aim time below average, but it's more of a heavy tank, heavy medium-esque of a medium. Gun depression 5 degrees, view range 400, camo is still pretty good. Alright. Horsepower per ton ratio, below average, but pretty decent horsepower per ton ratio. With the terrain resistance, that's like any other Russian high tier mediums. So, yeah, it's alright. 50 kilometers per hour top speed, turns pretty fast, 2000 health, alright. Gold shell does not suck. That's a plus. Now, what's interesting about the main webpage for 9.22 is you can preview the armor, surprisingly. So click on this thing. And it's not as accurate as Tank Inspector or tanks.gg, but it's workable for now. So the upper plate, 160. It's about 300 millimeters effective. Really? That's not accurate, is it? Alright, I'll take your word for it, but the lower plate, yeah, lower plate is pretty weak. Cupola, pretty decent cupola too. 257 for the loader. That's a loader loader hatch. That's the commander with the periscopes, but not bad. Turret front, pretty hefty. No weakness on the roof. Alright, that's decent. Side armor. Yeah, there is a bug, or there's an inaccuracy with this armor viewer, because that's space armor. That's not actual armor. That's 30 millimeters of space armor. So technically, this is auto bounce at this angle. That should be auto bounce for this vehicle, but it's not 239. No way. So armor wise, not bad. Rear armor, yeah, rear armor's garbage, but hey, I'll take it. So here is the ISM. They are the main stats, but here are the actual stats. So above average penetration, alpha, DPM is not bad for a tier 8. Accuracy, aim time is above average for such a large caliber gun. Russian 122s are pretty long to aim, so it takes pretty long time to aim. Gun depression 5 degrees, ick. Horsepower per ton ratio, below average. Terrain resistance, below average. So more of a heavy tank in a city map, mostly. I mean, it's not as fast as the IS, but you have a rear mounted turret. An improved frontal armor, mostly, should be. Horsepower per ton ratio is about the same as the IS, I believe. About 13 or so, but top speed is about the same. Top speed for the IS like 34, I think. But the IS could shift pretty fast because of the terrain resistance. So health, below average. Meh. View range, 350. I mean, like any other tier 8 Russian heavy tanks, that's the standard, but 350 is garbage. Alright, gold shell also sucks. 240 APCR. Normal shell is 212. Wow, this gold shell sucks. I mean, think about it. There are tanks like the T-34 and the Luva, which has penetration above 300, about 300 for the gold shell. That's at tier 8. This is 240. That's kind of crap. Alright, so for the IS, can we take a look at the ISM? So here it is. Armor wise, frontal upper plate, 120. It's 130, alright? That's no way 250. Really? That's well sloped to 250? 280? Interesting. Cheeks is also auto bounce. It should be auto bounce for these angles. Lower plate. Lower plate is the weak spot, but still. 194. That will defeat most medium tanks guns like the T-44 or the Pershing or whatever. Side armor, 120. So it's a side-scripting vehicle, but 120 is not that bad. Alright, rear, 80. For the turret, it's pretty decent rounded. Yeah, 220 at the front. Not bad. You can actually shift the turret? Oh, interesting. Cupola, 150. So shoot the cupola, obviously. And can I zoom in? But is there a loader hatch? There is, but it's not shootable. It looks like a gun access port for the top, but there's no actual weakness, so it's only 60mm, but it's well sloped. So basically, yeah. Is it a good tank compared to the Chrysler K? Well, The only downside with this vehicle is the gold shell. The gold shell sucks ass. I mean, accuracy is also garbage, but view range is also garbage. So this is a brawling heavy tank. It's a city map heavy tank. It's useless in an open field map. But then again, most large vehicles, large heavy tanks are practically useless in open field maps. But Jesus Christ, this gold shell really does suck. Alright, Object 705, initial stats, and here are the main stats. So, larger gun, obviously, 130mm, alright. Better gold shell this time around. DPM blows, oh god. Accuracy blows, aim time blows, gun depression is still the same. Terrain resistance, even worse. So top speed, even worse. Above average health. Alright, view range, below average, but still not bad as 350, I guess. Oh my god. So basically improved the gold shell and improved the view range, but the accuracy is still garbage. DPM still garbage. Terrain resistance still garbage. But can we take a look? No, they only have the A version. Oh man. Alright, so let's take a look at the A version. So here is the tier 10. DPM still garbage-ish. Accuracy is still garbage. Aim time, it's alright. But yeah, accuracy garbage. Terrain resistance doesn't seem to get changed. Not really. But you have more horsepower, so yeah. Pretty decent health. Garbage view range. Alright. Alright. So, it's 152, so it packs a pretty big punch, but the DPM sucks. The DPM really sucks. I mean, it is a brawling heavy tank, but the main purpose is the armor. So upper plate 170, well sloped. Alright, lower plate 140, well sloped. 241. That's not bad. Cheeks, yeah, 150 cheeks with space armor. So space armor is not calculated correctly with this armor viewer, but I will probably side scrape. Wait, is it a V-shaped hull? It looks like a V-shaped hull. At least for like most of the sponsons to the side of the vehicle. Yeah, that's a V-shaped hull. That's mostly a V-shaped hull with the V-shaped T-section hull. Interesting. So this is auto bounce. Unless you shoot between the tracks right here. Yeah, you could penetrate right here, but if you shoot the space armor or any parts of the side armor right here, it's an auto bounce. Interesting. Don't shoot the cheeks. Auto bounce as well. Turret front, pretty thick. Don't even think about it. There is no weak spots with the hatches and the commander cupola. It's very small. There doesn't seem to be a gun access port with the top of the turret, so no weak spot like the IS-3. So basically, it's a side-scraping monster, but still, it could be pinned between the tracks right here, so play accordingly, but that's the whole selling point with these vehicles. The armor, view range, accuracy is just, yeah, the accuracy is garbage, DPM's garbage. It will be bogged down, but if it's a city map, it's not bad with the 15 horsepower per ton ratio. Alright. SU-101 does not get changed to tier 7, but they did change the armor of this vehicle, so you cannot preview it, but this is the original stats, or original super test initial iteration stats, but they did change the armor to 130 at the front, rather than 90, so I presume this thing could take more hits at tier 8 now, but they don't give us the actual armor viewer on the main webpage, so we don't know. They only give us the Object 268 version number 4. So jumping ahead, the 263. So they changed from tier 10 to tier 9, but DPM sucks, penetration sucks, alpha sucks, accuracy sucks, aim time is alright, 4 degrees of gun depression. Mobility is above average, but yeah, the DPM just got awful. 360 meters of view range. Oh my god. 300 millimeters of pen for gold shell. That's actually terrible for such a large caliber gun. Yeah, that's terrible. Above average health, but I don't think they buffed the lower plate armor. If they buffed the lower plate armor, it's like a pseudo heavy tank. I mean, still, the DPM just got awful. Nah. Alright, 268, version number 4. Main stats. God awful DPM. Below average alpha. I mean, about average alpha. Pen, yeah, average. Accuracy's garbage. Aim time is decent. It's pretty mobile, so you have to play this vehicle as a very aggressive tank destroyer based on armor and based on speed, but DPM is just blah. View range, blah. Camo is pretty decent. Health, it's alright. So it's like a pseudo Jagdpanzer E100 or pseudo Badger, I think, but it's mostly focused on mobility and armor, not focused on the gun. The gun is mediocre, like mediocre at best. Weighs a lot too, surprisingly, 75 tons. But armor-wise, wow, interesting. 290 for the middle plate. That's pretty thick. Upper plate, super well sloped, but it's only 100 millimeters. So, okay. Lower plate, pin the lower plate. It does seem like the calculation angle is a little bit wonky, because that should be auto bounce based on my math, but yeah, like I said, it doesn't take into account the space armor. So if you shoot right here, what the frick? Why is it 30 into... Okay, weird calculation. So cheek is only 100 millimeter. Yeah, you can pin this. It's not 244. No way. It's only 100 millimeter for the side armor. Superstructure is 250. It's slope upwards, but based on the current meta, based on the current holiday ops, post-holiday ops, premium time, there's a lot of gold shell and high explosive. So, meh. Cupola is 250, but yeah, this will be pinned. I'm interested if the periscope is counted as actual armor. It might not be, because this doesn't take into account space armor. So armor-wise, it's pretty fast of a tank destroyer. It has a lot of armor, but you should play this thing like a pseudo-heavy tank or pseudo-medium. It doesn't have gun depression though, so... Yep. Interesting. Well, not really. Compared to the current Object 263, a lot of players are pretty pissed. Yeah, mostly because the DPM sucks, as well as the accuracy, as well as the rear range. Oh my god. So there you go, folks. The summary of patch 9.22. Pretty much all new Russian tanks, and basically that's it. Alright? It's fine, but here is the actual wall of text. So, improvements to vehicle customization, blah blah blah. It's not for any of the lower tiers, so sad to say. But improvements to the matchmaker, so, oh my god, such a mess. Oh well, blah blah blah. Changes to the rank battle mode, so wall of text. Basically prepping you for a new season. So yada 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 yada. Improvements to the stronghold mode, alright. But vehicle changes, yada yada. New tier 10 vehicle that's researched after the T10. Likely the Object 777 version number 2, which is this vehicle right here. So likely this thing, which is already in your game files, but its current stat is like the T10 in terms of the gunpowder. The mobility is about the same, the armor is meh. For today's standard, it's meh. So, yeah, okay. But new tier 10 medium after the Object 430 version number 2, unrevealed yet. It's not in the game files. Don't know which one that is. Alright, so pseudo mystery vehicles, yada yada. New vehicles added, vehicles removed, blah blah blah. Changes to the stats. So they give a better stock gun, stock 122, to the SU-101, but they nerfed the accuracy, nerfed the DPM, as well as stuff like the DPM, accuracy. Oh, Jesus Christ. Changed the DPM as well, so it takes longer to reload. Wonderful. changed the view range from 380 to 350, improved the hull armoring from 90mm to 130, but we need to see the actual armor model to make an actual description judgment, but better gun depression, at least, by like 0.8 degrees, but yeah, they nerfed the DPM a lot. Gross. As for the SU-100M1, the same stuff. They nerfed the view range, nerfed the mobility, the traverse, and nerfed the DPM mostly. They improved the accuracy moving, shooting on the move, but the DPM, man, it's mostly about having a medium tank chassis and with a lot of DPM. Now it's having a lot of armor, having a lot of mobility, but garbage DPM and garbage accuracy. And that's pretty much it. So that's the patch notes. It's pretty simple. Just add a few Russian tanks, take away a few Russian tanks, and work some of the matchmaking and ranked battle mode, and that's it. I mean, alright. Disappointed about the SU-12254, but that's just me. So here is the K91. It's a potential placement of the tier 10 medium. So this is based off of one of the KV4 designs. It has a rounded frontal hull. It's a rear mounted turret, pseudo turret, doesn't fully traverse, but you get the gist. It's like the Object 416 or the Object 430 version number 2, so fits that criteria pretty well. Here is the KV4 K version. So it's like a smaller KV4 with a rear mounted turret, like the KTTS, but has a rounded pseudo turret. So yep, that's the only other two candidates I could think of for the medium tank spot after the 430 version number 2. So who knows? But yeah, this thing, wouldn't this make more sense after the T10? This is the Object 268 version number 5 that we already have in the game files, but it's too janky of a tier 10 to make it as a tank destroyer. So why not just buff this vehicle? Buff it to a heavy tank standard and let this be the actual tier 10 heavy. Makes more sense. So there you go, folks. Disappointing, but hey, whatever, I guess. Patch of a 9.22. So I'll post the link to all the patch notes and all the stuff to the wall of text, but hopefully you guys get some gist of the stuff. So I am pretty hesitant to post videos about the new heavy tanks, the new tank destroyers, because based on the previous history or last year's history with the vehicle's development cycle, a lot of the stats got changed at the last minute, like with the Chrysler K, with the STG, with the Mauer Breaker, with the T92. A lot of the stats got changed like right before the release, like with the STRV81, the Sabaton, engine power got changed. Originally it was slower, but now it got the better engine power. What? So a lot of the stats got immediately changed right before release. So I'm very hesitant to post videos about these new vehicles. So I'll do all the stuff ASAP, but I'm expecting the ELC EVEN to be buffed. Currently the stats are terrible. It's like a gutted fish of the original iteration of the ST server for the stats. So we'll see, but yeah. SU-12254. I'm getting a copy of the 263. But there you go, folks. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.